Hey guys, what's going on? It's Holly Hate. So we are back again with another episode, and this episode I want to talk about mindset because I've been working on my mindset a lot lately, and I'm actually doing the 75 hard challenge. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but what it is essentially is you got to do 2 workouts. You got to do one outside, one inside, and both for 45 minutes. Then you have to read 10 pages. You have to drink a gallon of water, and you have to take a progress picture. So I've been doing that for the past 12 days, and it's really like to get mental toughness and of course to lose weight as well. Oh, you have to stick to a diet too. So this has been definitely a great experience. I've been learning a lot, of course, for reading, losing weight, and it's definitely just building consistency. So I'm glad, that I started to take this challenge. But the reason I want to talk about mindset is because I feel like a lot of people are in the space where they need a mindset shift. And to reach that next level, you definitely need to shift your mind. So I feel like there is a poverty mindset, and then there is a mindset of abundance. So you need to shift your mindset in order to receive the things that you want. So I'm in the process of shifting my mindset, even though I've reached goals that I've dreamt about, as far as money goes. But I did have a goal to reach 20K in a month. The most I've had in a month so far is 11K. But I realized that even to get to that point, it's a whole mindset shift, because coming from a poverty background, everybody has that poverty mindset, and then you start to realize it when you start to get around different people, like successful people. You start to realize the poverty mindset and the blame, the lack that people do when they are in the poverty mindset. So start to read books. I would suggest definitely 10 pages a day. I am now reading the Slight Edge book, and it is great. It talks about how we make choices every day to either be on the up curve or the down curve. So we make choices every day to either succeed or fail, and how every day should be used to its fullest potential, and that every day counts. Because if you say, hey, I'm not going to do this today, you just you start on that downward curve, and then a year later you're down because you made the choice one day to choose not to succeed. So it's been great building that consistency, and the book has definitely helped me stay consistent as well. So I would definitely recommend to start reading books, guys. Start reading books if you want to get to another level, because I remember I used to be like, I just thought books were boring. That was years ago. And then when I started reading books, I started gaining a lot of knowledge. And I was like, dang, because it's like you have instant access to people who are where you want to be. And books are fairly cheap, especially audiobooks. Or I don't do audiobooks kind of because I feel like I don't retain information on audiobooks. So I like to read the books, but on Kindle or on my phone. So I think it's definitely something you should do to start shifting your mindset. Start with one thing a day. I remember I always had this saying, like, make your bed every day. I would always tell my boyfriend, make the bed every day, make the bed every day. He's like, yeah, like you and your philosophies. But it definitely is something that you pick something that you can stay consistent at. Because once you find one thing you can stay consistent at, then you'll start to add other things. So every day you add something. Like if you stay in the same place, like a plateau, then you won't be on the uptrend of the Slight Edge. And in the Slight Edge, they have like a graph. It's like a line, and then it's an up curve, and then it's a down curve. So every day you have a choice to either go on the up curve or the down curve. So just that consistency of making your bed every day, I would start with that if you have a problem with consistency, because when you make your bed every day, you start with that. Then you add something else. Okay, I've been making my bed every day, so now I'll write down something I'm grateful for every morning. Add that. Then you'll add, hey, I'll make it to work on time every day. And on time is late, so I'll make it to work early every day. And then as you see it compound interest, and then next thing you know, you're up, you're super successful. And there was a story in The Slight Edge as well. It was about a dad, and I may butcher the story a little bit, but you'll get the gist. So it was about a dad. He told his two sons. He had two sons. He was dying. He's like, I have a penny. You could either get a penny or you could get $1 million, right? So he left it to their sons to choose. You can only choose one. He left it to his sons to choose. So they went home and they're like, they're choosing. So the one son is like, of course, I'm going to choose $1 million. The other son is thinking about it, and he's like, I might choose the penny, right? So they come back the next day, and the dad's like, okay, what's the choice? So one son actually chose the penny, and the other son chose the $1 million. But the thing about this penny was, it was in a purse or whatever. He said every day it'll duplicate, and then duplicate whatever it duplicated the other day. So if one day it had 1 penny, then it will be 2. The next day it'll be 4, because it will duplicate. So you see interest and compound interest. So he chose the penny, right? And then the other son's like, why would you do that? So after he chose the compound interest penny, the other son who got the $1 million, he's like, oh, I got all these plans. He started putting them into action quick. He started a business. He hired all these people, and started to run the business, whatever. And then he's telling the other son, like, if you need anything, I got you and stuff, because he's up. He's up. And then the son is like, every day his money is compounding. So by the end of the month, he had $800. And the other son's like, why would you choose this? So time goes on, right? Next thing you know, the son with the penny, his years passed, and of course the father had passed already. Years and years passed, right? And of course the father had passed already. Years and years passed, and the son who started the business, he invested that money too. So his brokers come to him and they're like, we got good news and bad news. And he's like, what? He's like, the good news is we made $500,000 on top of your $1 million, right? And then he's like, okay, that's pretty good. What's the bad news? He's like, the bad news is, you hired all these people, so you are in the hole for $100,000, because you got to pay all these people. So he's broke. He's worse off from where he started, and he didn't have the mindset to even receive that money. So for him to get that money at the time that he did, when he still had a broke mindset, it wasn't beneficial for him. But the other son who took the penny actually learned the knowledge of interest, compound interest, putting a penny in a day and having it flip, double, triple. He ended up getting $1 million after years and years of waiting, and he gained the knowledge. So then the other sons come at him like, oh my God, like, you have all this money and I'm broke. So he's, like, let me hold some. Nah, that's not what he said. But that just solidifies it. Of course, it's a tale, but that solidifies, like, you have to change your mindset before you can even get to the position that you want to get to. Because if you don't change your mindset, you won't even be mentally prepared to receive the gifts that you want. And then if you do receive the gifts at the wrong time, when your mind is not right, you won't know how to retain them. You won't know how to deal with them. So it starts in here. It starts with wanting something first. Decide what you want. Get your mind right. Start being consistent. Start training your mind. Start learning something. And stay consistent with it. And then so when it is time to receive those gifts, you're ready. And you are prepared to hold it. So right now I actually applied for a financial literacy course. Because of course when we grow up, we are not taught about financial literacy, about how to save our money. I had to pay $5,000 in taxes. I mean, I wrote off a lot of stuff, so it would have been a lot more that I had to pay, but I wasn't saving. I wasn't saving to pay those taxes. And I'm a realtor, of course, so you get those big checks and it's like, and you're not used to it, so you're not mentally prepared to receive this stuff because you're coming from 9 to 5, and it's like, oh, I got a $10,000 check. Oh, what's up? Let's go out to eat. Let's buy some clothes. We're still in that poverty mindset, which is spend. So I had to learn how to break up a check. You get that check, 30%, 20 to 30% goes into a tax account. You got your 401k savings, and then you pay yourself a salary. So you don't get all that. You pay yourself about a 30% salary. You're not supposed to get a check and then blow it. So that just like tells you the different mindset that you have to be in. So yeah, I applied for a financial literacy course at Harvard, trying to apply for like a scholarship, just to learn, just to keep on growing and learning this stuff, because I feel like the level I want to get to, if I can't hold on to $10,000 in a month and know how to distribute it, if you can't hold on to the little, it's a lot for me. But imagine if I'm making $500,000 a month, $200,000 a month, $1 million. Imagine where that money's gonna go. Because I don't know how to manage this money, because I don't have the knowledge, because I didn't prepare for this stuff, because I'm coming from a 9 to 5, even though it's been about 2 years or a year since I've had one. It's new. It's new. Being a worker that pays, being a self-employed person who pays taxes, you are supposed to get paid from your business. So you're supposed to put that check is not even supposed to hit your personal account. That check's supposed to go in your business. And I do have a separate business account, but then I just ended up transferring all the money because I wasn't putting away money for tax account, all that stuff. So we just need to make sure that our mindset is right first and foremost. And the beautiful, like I said, it starts with a thought, wanting. And the beautiful thing about that is God will provide what you want and what you work for and what you manifest. But it's just, you have to be ready to receive that and appreciate that. I'm in a position now where I have everything that I would have, I've cried for. Like, I remember crying out to God, and I have everything that I asked for, and I have to know how to appreciate it. I stop sometimes and I'm like, I am so thankful. I stop sometimes and I'm like, I'm so thankful and grateful, because I know the me before would have not been able to receive the things that I have now. I feel like we go in cycles. Like, I was on this cycle. Like, I was dating the same kind of people, just in different bodies. I was doing the same thing in every single relationship, every job. It was just a cycle. It was a cycle. I mean, I was a good worker, don't get me wrong, but I chose to be a good worker because there was a time where I wasn't. So I was like, let me be a good worker. And then I've elevated myself in jobs, became supervisor, got all the way up to $25 an hour, which is good where I'm from. It's a small city, so I was banking from that. But I was broken at that point. I wasn't even in the same mindset I am now. So I don't think I could have even received the things that I have now. Even though I asked God for it, but I knew there was work I had to do to get to this point. So there was mental work, there was physical work I had to do. I had to better myself. And now, and then, I started with Think and Grow Rich. There was a mentor I had, and he put me onto that Think and Grow Rich. He had me write out everything that I want. From the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep, everything that I want. And I wrote it out. And this was when me and my boyfriend were moving to Atlanta. So we prayed. I was like, let's pray. Let's ask God to guide us, because we moved with $4,000 in our pocket. Never having been to Atlanta at all. We never been to Atlanta before we moved. And I'm like, I just felt a tug in my soul. I'm like, we gotta go to Atlanta. So he's like, I'm down. So we packed up everything in our cars. We drove. We said, kissed our family goodbye. They wished us well. We prayed, and we came here. But what I wrote this before we moved here, before I ever knew how my life was gonna be here. We didn't know what to expect. We moved into a warehouse when we moved here. We were paying like $500. We opened up a studio there and met people, and it was a brand new life. But we were struggling when we moved here. We moved here with $4,000, so we were trying to stay, on a budget. We moved to a crazy place. We didn't have a kid then, so we were okay with being risky, When we pulled up, we was like, ooh, well, we gonna have to make it work, because we're not going back. And I'm talking about a rat falling through the ceiling, like it was crazy. It was a warehouse, like it wasn't a nice job. It was crazy. So we was like, hey, well, we got each other. We're going to make it work. And with God's help, it's all going to work out. He got us. But I wrote, how I wanted my life to be. Even I wrote a child in there. I wrote being married. I wrote from the morning, I'm going to be working out. This is exactly what I do. Every day I'm going to be working out. And then I'm going to work on my real estate throughout the day. I'm not going to have to be employed. I'm going to work for myself. And this is my day. Like how I wrote out my day, this is it. And I'm able to make money. I'm able to make money, which is crazy. I never imagined this until I got around people that was more successful than I. And I saw that it was possible. And just manifesting all this. So I would definitely recommend also to explore, if you want to take the risk and take the leap, trust God. If you feel you're tugged to go somewhere, if you feel like another state's been calling you or something, trust God and go ahead and make that move. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to make this long. Peace out, guys, and do what it is that your heart wants. Stay consistent, manifest greatness, and get that mind right. Peace.